بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to this live episode of Ask Zad. Alhamdulillah, inshallah, we'll be broadcasting simultaneously on our YouTube channel and also on our Facebook. So with the grace of Allah, this is another milestone in the field of achievements in terms of technology, in trying to deliver the message of Islam as much as possible to wherever we can. As usual, we will take 3 of your questions from the emails, and then we will take your live questions bi'idhnillahi azza wa jal. Umar says, I have a sensor that sticks onto my arm to monitor my blood sugar levels. It's much better and easier to monitor my diabetes, or to monitor my diabetes. I cannot take it off as and when I feel like to. Is it okay to do ghusl with this? The sensor is usually placed in a person's shoulder or somewhere on his body, which without any doubt constitute a barrier from water reaching the skin. And we know that if there is a barrier that prevents water from reaching your body organs when performing wudu or performing ghusl, that this is not a valid wudu or a valid ghusl unless there is a justifiable, legitimate Islamic reason for that. So yes, when can limb or something, he cannot remove that. He cannot wash underneath it. So wiping over it would do the job, whether it's ghusl or wudu. But with such sensors, or in other cases when you have nicotine patches, or when you have contraceptives, some women have a special plaster they put that prevents them from conceiving. And then they ask about ghusl. Putting these things is not a necessity. It is not like when someone is having a cast or a bandage over a wound that he must have it, otherwise harm will get into it. You can always measure your diabetes with the normal procedure that everybody does, pricking your finger and getting a sample, and that's it. Yes, this one is convenient because you just scan over it with the machine and it tells you your diabetes levels, but it's not a necessity. Hence, you do not have the permission to have it on and have ghusl with it on, because it prevents water from reaching your skin, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. Muna says, as Muslims, do we believe in the evolution theory? The most natural answer would be no. Evolution means that species develop, progress, improve, change according to what is needed. And Darwin's theory has been proven wrong by his contemporaries and by other scholars that are not Muslims. We as Muslims believe that all of what we see in this universe is the creation of Allah. And without any doubt, the origin of mankind is Adam and Hawa, peace be upon them, Adam and Eve. And Allah created Adam from clay. So there was no species before him. There was nothing as the missing link, as they call it. All of these are nonsense. So we do not believe in evolution of that sort. Not only that, even in animals or fish or amphibious or birds, we believe that Allah created them like that. We don't believe that they evolved due to the environment. It's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who did this, and this is not a natural selection. This is not something of their own that so happens because of the environment or of other factors. It's all the creation of Allah Azza wa Jal. And the third and final question from the emails, a brother says, is it allowed either for one who gives salam or for the one who replies to the salam to extend more than Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh? For example, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu wa maghfiratuhu wa rizquhu wa etc. Now, there's nothing that beats the sunnah. And the sunnah, as far as we know, came only with the limited number of words. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And Allah Azza wa Jal told us in the Quran to reply either similar or better. So when we say Assalamu alaikum, you can reply by wa alaikum assalam. And this is similar. If you want to go a bit further, you can say wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. And if they say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, you may say wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. But if they go the whole 9 yards and they say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, you should say and reply by saying, Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, full stop. There isn't anything from the sunnah that is authentic to say, Wa maghfiratuhu or Wa rahmatuhu. However, if a person adds to the salam, not thinking that this is better than the sunnah, or that he's doing something better than what the Prophet taught us, it's a simple gesture of dua. Because when someone says, Assalamu alaikum Sheikh, I say, Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Ya marhaban, Ya ahlan. Now, this is not part of the salam, but it's a form of greeting. So, adding something similar to that, like Wa maghfiratuhu wa barakatuhu, etc., not thinking that this is from the sunnah, nor thinking that I am completing something that is missing, there's nothing wrong in that, inshallah, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. Nu'man from the UK. Allah and Allah Azza wa Jal Nu'man knows best. Nu'man from the UK.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Sheikh, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear, akhi. What can I do for you?
Akhi, I love you for the sake of Allah. I've been watching you for so many years. Alhamdulillah. I got so many hard questions answered just by listening to Q&A. So thank you so much for doing that.
Allah
Akhi, I have a very specific. Thank you so much for doing it. Allah bless you for all your work. Actually, I've got a specific, maybe 3 points of questions.
Nu'man, my friend, unfortunately, we have so many people waiting. You're entitled only for one question, if you please.
I mean, it's all related to kind of one thing. So quickly, so with regard to the wasiya aspect, which is about 33% or 1/3 of wasiya, is that can that be given to non-Muslim children? It's all related, so that's one, but it's all kind of related. So it's one family's issue regarding one thing. So so basically also, if an uncle adopts his nephew, can he give his entire inheritance to his one nephew only as a gift? And he has no brother, no mother, no wife, nothing. He just got, and so the nephews would be entitled to inheritance, but he's just giving everything to one of his nephews because he kind of adopted him and brought him up. That's another question. If you can tell me, all that gift is irrelevant if he did not distribute equally to all of them. We just give it to one nephew.
Okay.
Okay. Another, again, and the last point, which is kind of all related, under Islamic law, can someone inherit that refuse to look after? So basically, like under Darura, so if somebody is entitled under, say, Islamic inheritance to inherit something, but they will not look after their mother, and only one child and will look after, and they need the money to look after, can the one child block them as a Darura because they need the money because the other children do not care at all about looking after the mother?
Okay, I will answer, inshallah. Zain. Zainuddin, UK.
Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh.
Assalamu wa barakatuh.
I heard you went for Umrah. How was your Umrah?
Was great, alhamdulillah.
Now, I understand the time is limited, so I have to ask one question.
One question.
So, the question is, generally I hear about this, and that is that, when you whistle, people say, oh, no, don't whistle. And you ask why, they say because it's calling shaitan. And if you whistle, they say it's calling shaitan. So what is the Islamic guidelines regarding whistling?
Okay,
so,
I will answer, inshallah, Zainuddin. We have Faizuddin from India.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Assalamu wa barakatuh. Yes, akhi.
How are you, Sheikh?
I'm doing well, barakallah feek. What can I do for you?
Then it's a minute.
Yeah.
If they say, brother say from the UK, call me, yeah?
Oh, okay.
I had one question. I have some Sufi relatives.
Okay.
So what they do is they do Fatiha on every 24th of Islamic months. So I have, as much as I can remember, heard in those Fatiha, what they did is I've seen with my own eyes, they keep some salt and sugar in front of them and they recite some Naat and Nasheed, in which I heard, now I can remember and I can understand that it contains shirk. Now I don't know and I can't ask them if the meat they send us some biryani. So I can't ask them if the meat that they sent they have slaughtered the name of with the name of Allah. I think if I ask my mother, because they are my maternal relatives.
Okay.
I think if I ask my mother, my mother would get angry. So I have eaten this biryani many times. So am I sinful?
I will answer, inshallah. We have Latifa from the USA.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu wa barakatuh.
So I have a question about the online school through Zoom. If we need to ask question from the teacher, it's always private, and I have male teacher. Is it allowed for me to talk to the teacher privately?
So you're asking about a teacher from the opposite gender, of course.
Yeah.
So, and you have to talk to them privately, like when you speak to me privately.
Yeah.
Okay, I will answer, inshallah. And we have Asif from Saudi.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu.
Yes, sir. I have a question. If a person goes to a car washing shop and the charge is $10, and the actual guy who cleans the car, he says, okay, I'll give you $2 extra. Make sure clean it properly. So this kind of things can we do or no?
I did not get your question. So you're paying them $10 to get your car cleaned, but the person who's actually cleaning it says, no, give me $8 and I do it for you?
No. Standard charge is $10 and that we have to pay to the company. But the actual guy who is cleaning, extra $2 we give. That is not for official. Extra $10, that is just as tip, so that he will be cleaning more sincerely and a bit extra maybe.
Okay. I will answer, inshallah. And we have Ghada from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
Salamullah.
So, as Saudis, we have studied Sharia for 12 years as part of our curriculum, but I don't reckon that the topic of both has been touched upon, which is okay. It's considered as part of the idea. But I want to know, or I want to ask you about, is that I sometimes feel that my sister, who has passed away at an early stage of life, is watching over me and is always reassuring me. So what is the Islamic perspective on that? As I feel it would help us intuitive people to carry on and feel assured or reassured. Thank you.
Okay. I will answer, inshallah. So we have Asadullah from Canada.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sheikh.
Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh. Hayyak Allah.
How are you, Sheikh?
I'm doing well, Jazakallah khair. What can I do for you?
Sheikh, I have a question about Tahajjud.
About?
Sheikh, my Tahajjud.
Okay.
Sheikh, my question is, I read somewhere that says that whosoever recites 1,000 verses during Tahajjud, then he's known as Al-Muqantareen. I was wondering if you could explain if this is authentic and what does that mean exactly, the word Al-Muqantareen.
Okay.
And also, like, does the verses of Fatiha, is that included in the 1,000 or do you have to recite extra? Jazakallah khair.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, we'll go through our questions and see how many can we answer before the break, inshallah azza wa jal. Nu'man broke all the rules and he put forward his 3 questions, which I reluctantly accepted, being who I am, maskeen. I'm a very shy person. I can't cut people off. But the people in the control room, inshallah, should do that. The minute the first question ends, you just cut the call and let us treat everybody fairly. So, Nu'man, can a person write 1/3 of his will to non-Muslim children? There's no problem in that, whether they're children or grown up. I write 1/3 of my will, which is my God-given right. I can donate it to a charity. I can give it to Muslim friends or relatives, or I can give it to someone who is not a non-Muslim. This is a gift. There's nothing wrong in that. Safiya bint Huyay ibn Akhtab, the wife of the Prophet ﷺ, the mother of the believers, did this to her brother who was a Jew. And his second question is that if a person has an adopted child who happens to be his nephew, and he wants to give him everything before his death as a gift, there's no problem in that at all. Whether he is married or not, whether he has parents or children or not, this is beside the point. While I'm alive, I can donate, I can give as a gift everything I possess to anyone I want, whether a relative or a stranger. The issue is after death. If the issue is dealing with after death, writing a will has conditions. One of the conditions is that you do not extend 1/3 of your wealth. Condition 2, that you do not write this will to give from your wealth to anyone who is one of your heirs. So I cannot give 1/3 of my wealth to my wife, because by default, she is one of the heirs and she will get either 1/4 or 1/8 of my possession, depending if I have offsprings or not. Likewise, I cannot give my father, my mother, my son, because they all will inherit by default. So I cannot give them a penny of the 1/3. The 1/3 has to be to someone who does not inherit me. So if your nephew is not one of your heirs, because if he's your paternal nephew and you don't have a father, a mother, a wife, a children, brothers, he is the only one who will inherit everything. So whether you write it or not, he's by default going to take everything else. But if there are other heirs, then you cannot write anything to him, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. So I think his third question was about wanting to deprive the other siblings, the other heirs, from their share of the inheritance, simply because I'm the only one taking care of my mom. So if my father dies, my mom gets 1/8, I get a share with my siblings, but my siblings are all overseas and they never care about my mom, they never take care of her, they never give her a dime. So I would like to deprive them from their share. so that I would utilize it to spend on my mom, get her a house, and provide for her, as this is a necessity. Is this permissible? Totally prohibited. And the money is totally haram, and you are responsible on the day of judgment to pay them back from your own good deeds. And if you don't have any good deeds, you will take from their own sins, and it will be thrown on you, and you will be thrown in hell. Their obligation, if they do not fulfill it, does not justify that we prevent them from getting their rights. This is not up to us. The division of inheritance was not done by us or by scholars. It was done by Allah Azza wa Jal, mentioned in the Quran. So we have to fulfill it no matter what. Zain ad-Din from the UK says, is whistling. So when I whistle, am I calling shaitan? Some scholars said this. And they're referring to the ayah in chapter 8, Surah Al-Anfal, that the prayer of the idol worshippers around the Kaaba was muka'an wa tasdiyah. And they explained it in tafsir to be whistling and clapping. But this is not authentic. And hence, whistling is a permissible thing. Is it the best thing for you to do? No, of course not. And what are you going to whistle with? So if you're going to whistle to call somebody or to call a taxi, and calling a taxi, no problem. But if you're going to whistle a song or music or the Fifth of Beethoven or whatever, now this gets a little bit closer to haram, and it might be fully haram for what you're doing it, not because of whistling. Whistling as it is nothing haram about it, because there isn't anything in the Quran or in the Sunnah condemning it. But again, it depends on the intention. It depends what you're going to whistle it or whistle with it, and Allah knows best. Faizuddin from India says he has super Sufis relatives, and they committed shirk. They do na'at, they do this, they do that. And he wonders about the biryani they sent to their house. Can they eat from the meat? The answer is, if you are 100%, not 99.9, you have to be 100% certain that they're doing shirk. 2, you have to be also certain that they're the one who's doing the slaughtering. In this case, you cannot accept that food. But if you know that they are committing shirk, but you know that the food they are cooking home, they're not butchers. They don't even know how to butcher a chicken. They buy it from the souk, from the supermarket, from the butcher who's a Muslim. In this case, you can eat the food even if they are committing shirk themselves, because the one who slaughtered it is a Muslim by default. Latifa from the US says that sometimes, and especially nowadays with the pandemic and with the online schooling, sometimes we have a quiz, we have a test, and the teacher is of the opposite sex, of the opposite gender. He's a male and I'm a female. I'm not, but she is. So is this halal? Yes, as long as this is a necessity and there is no seclusion. It's online. It's like when people call me, when women call me. It's her and I. This is seclusion? No. Is there any flirting? No. It's straightforward, totally and completely business. Asking a question, answering it, solving a problem, the boom, done deal, alhamdulillah. But when there is something more, then this becomes haram. Teacher-student relationship, quiz, questions, through Zoom, there is no problem in that, inshallah. Asif says sometimes, and this is a problem that we all face. I'm a big tipper by nature, especially when I go to poor countries. I'd like to have some change and just tip everybody that says Assalamu alaikum, alaikum assalam. It's peanuts for me. For them, it's something. But if I find out that the tipping that I'm doing is giving me and getting me extra service, then this becomes haram. This becomes a sort of a bribe. In the hadith of Ibn al-Lutbiyya, may Allah be pleased with him, he worked for the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet used to dispatch his representatives to collect zakat. So once he sent him off, he came back and said, okay, this is your zakat, a big herd of camels, cows, and sheep. And this portion was given to me. This is mine. So the Prophet was ﷺ angered by that. He was outraged. So he went to the pulpit and he said, مَا بَالُ أَقْوَامٍ. Why do people, we send them off on an errand and they come and say, this was given to us and this was given to you as zakat. Who are you to say that this was given to us? Wouldn't they sat in their fathers and mothers' homes and then notice and watch whether people give them anything or not? Those who gave you this portion gave it to you not because of the color of your eyes or how smart you are. They gave it to you because of your position of this chair. because I'm an administrator. I can sign, I can award projects. Likewise, the waiter in a fancy restaurant, when I give the waiter $20 as a tip up front so that he would book me an excellent table. All the tables are booked, but there is something special. And he would give me extra service. So likewise, when the company says $10 to wash your car, and you tip the employee or the guy doing the car wash $2 so that he would clean it thoroughly, this is a bribe. When would it be okay? If you're gonna do it a one-timer. So I wash my car, he does the job, I'm about to leave, I give him $2 and never come back again to him. I dine in a restaurant and I put extra on the bill as a tip, knowing that I'm not going to come back to him. This is okay. Other than that, it would be considered to be a bribe. And a final footnote. One of the brothers, well, a lot of the brothers, they complained about one of my answers to a mummy's boy who oppressed and wronged his wife and her child because she had a fight with his parents, and she was kicked out of the house. He says, he confesses, I didn't give her a chance to defend herself, and I was wrong, and I don't know what to do. My parents are stopping me from contacting her. So I bashed the brother. And this is what I do. When women ask me alone, I give them hell. Figuratively, of course. And I'll wait for your hate mail. And if a brother calls me, I just storm everything that he has and show him how wrong he was. Because this is why they're calling me. Not to give them a shoulder to lean on. They're calling me to open their eyes. So I gave that brother a piece of my mind. And I really trashed him. Most of the people thought that the answer was hitting the nail on the head. Few brothers who are probably in his shoes, and I don't know why, they should each get their own shoe, different sizes. They started complaining, you fear Allah, this is not the right fatwa. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Are you Einstein in fatwa? Do you know Arabic? Do you know Quran? Have you ever done this before? Or you're just complaining because you are in the same situation, you don't like to be called mummy's boy. And they started saying that he's hurt because of what you had said, you have to apologize. Are you guys nuts? This is the same issue. The Prophet ﷺ condemned the companion, but he did not say his name on the pulpit. He said, why do people, we send them, they do this and this and this? Did any of the companions come to the Prophet and complain and said, oh Prophet, you broke his heart, alayhi salatu wasalam? Definitely not. So without mentioning the man's name or his country or any description that would point him out, you have no right to come and complain like this, especially if you don't have the knowledge that allows you, that authorizes you to complain to any of what I say. We have a short break. Stay tuned and inshallah, we'll be right back.